Stuck in financial hell? Never seem to have more than 76 cents in your bank account? Needing to decide whether you need to pay rent or eat this month? Well, I have the perfect solution for you. The 100% foolproof way to fix all of your financial problems. Rob a bank. And I'll teach you just how, if you take my course for 6 low payments of... Okay, first things first, don't rob a bank. Don't rob a bank. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to say that in this video, but you never know what someone's gonna take away from a video. So don't rob a bank. All right, welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and I try my best to be diligent in my own financial journey, but I have decided that I have such a passion for this that I am going to try and pass along everything that I learn to you. Here on this channel, I try to take very complicated or sometimes overwhelming problems and simplify them to help give you ideas and structurize something of a path forward in your financial journey. If that by chance interests you, think about hitting that subscribe button and follow along as I have weekly videos coming out every Monday. All right, back to financial hell. Do you feel like you never have enough money to do anything? Are you working 17 jobs maybe to try and make ends meet? Do you eat the leftovers that people leave at restaurants just so that you can have a bite to eat? Okay, maybe, I don't think any of us have really stooped that low, but no judgment here if that is something that you've come in contact with. How do we get out of this situation? For the next couple of minutes, we all need to just take a step back and try to figure out how money comes into our possession and where it goes out of our possession. This review is usually done on like a month-to-month basis and is typically called budgeting. I know there are many people who have never budgeted in their life, nor have any inclination on how to budget, which is what I've done with this video. Now, I'm not going to be able to be specifically specific in your particular financial situation. You're going to have to try and make sure that you're critically thinking about all of the different things that come up in your life that you're going to need to plan for. But I hope to make something that will be very easy and wide-ranging universal. Budgeting allows for an individual to grasp the financial picture of how money moves within their life. It's an analysis of how much comes in versus how much goes out. Meaning how much we get from work versus how much we spend on entertainment or food or bills or smokes or beer or hookers or blow. You know, the important stuff. So we want to see where money comes in and where money goes out. This should help you determine why you never have enough money or how come you're not saving as much as you think you should. It will allow you to take control and then move yourself into a financially secure position. Now keep in mind that I'm going to try and go through this with a one-size-fits-all cap. That usually doesn't work very well with budgeting, but if you just think critically about the different important needs in your life that continually happen month in and month out over the entire year, you will be able to try and set up some sort of picture that will allow you to actually analyze what's going on and then take control of the situation. I will try to answer questions in the comment. I will not be able to tell you exactly what to do, but I can kind of give you a viewpoint of what I would do in certain situations. So if you want to leave a comment down below, if this video doesn't suffice, then go ahead and do that. I'll try my best to answer everybody. Okay, so budgeting can really be taken from my universal picture on a 4-step basis. All right, there's going to be the amount of money that you bring in. It's going to map your entire budget and where things should go. And then number 2 is going to be the amount of stuff that you need for necessities, such as bills, housing, that sort of necessity type things. Then we move into how much you need to save and bringing out some stuff away from savings. And then we move into the want category. I am not of the belief that you need to be very strict in making these budgets and ensuring that the penny to the penny is what you spend on a certain category. But I do think that at least looking at this picture overall, you can determine whether or not a cost is actually worth what it is, or if you can just, you know, forego that and save that money or refrain from spending that money at the current time. All right, so let's get started with budgeting. Step 1 is to know how much money is coming in. Now, typically, this is going to be 1 monthly payment or 2 monthly payments. Maybe it's 4 if you get paid weekly. Or if you're working multiple jobs, you might have like 8 transactions that come into your bank account. But the biggest thing is wherever your money is coming in, you want to try and analyze how much of that you have before beginning anything. So just add up all those different transactions on what you typically get inside of a monthly period. This is going to be for a typical 9-to-5 job or somebody who is actually working a steady schedule that's just receiving income. If you're an entrepreneur, there's going to be a wide range of trying to improve upon that that I will not cover in this video. That's just meaning in the sense that there's a lot of fluctuation on the income that comes in. This is more or less a personal finance that has a steady income that comes in on a scheduled basis for how many hours someone is working. You may have side hustles or side gigs that you need to take into account on that money actually being brought in as well. But sometimes those are wrapped up inside of an LLC and are tied to a business. So you need to make sure that you differentiate between things that are of your business and things that are of your personal finance. So once you've added up all those different transactions of money that is coming into your life, that is going to be the starting amount of the budget that you will have to spend every single month. I do want to take a second. If you feel like you're struggling in life with all these different things, income is going to be one of the biggest factors that you can take control of in order to improve your financial situation. This could be earning more or working more hours or trying to get a different job to get more income, maybe learning a skill that's a different trade or something along those lines to increase the revenue that comes in to your financial picture. The second biggest thing is going to be the amount of debt that you incur, but that's a different video. So let's move back on into budgeting. Okay, so now that we're done with step one, we know how much money we actually have. We can start to look at how that money is going out. In a typical budget, you would be very peculiar on how much money you set aside for each small bucket of needs and wants that come into your life on a daily basis. A great channel that shows a lot of these different situations is a show called Caleb Hammer here on YouTube. He takes real people's financial situations and sets up a budget to their specific situation. Since I'm sitting in a room here all alone and not able to actually connect with exactly what you have to do, I hope that this broad picture will help let you take control by doing the steps that I am kind of working through in order to let you determine how your money is going about and whether or not you're spending too much on A, B, C, or D category. If you want to see something that is more granular and actually doing very small buckets, then I would say check out Caleb Hammer. Okay, so back to the budget, looking at stuff that is going out from our personal financial picture. The second step is the necessities category. You need to ensure that you incorporate all different expenses that you need to have on a monthly basis. This would include things like rent and mortgage, utilities such as trash or water or electricity, sewer, so on and so forth. You need to think about groceries or car payment or phone payment, any insurance that you have, debt payments. So you need to take all of those different expenditures into account first. So you have your lump sum of money, and we're going to start subtracting each one of those expenses, such as rent or utilities, water, electric, trash, sewer, so on and so forth, insurance, car payment, blah, 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 personal loan, your $5 that you give to your grandma for whatever reason. I don't know. Whatever those expenses are on a month in, month out basis, add those all up. Those are the necessity category. These aren't things like trying to go shopping or go get shoes or any of the things that would not be on a month to month basis. We're going to be utilizing those in the want category. I understand that that might be hard for some people. I have to go shopping, or I have to buy a video game, or I have to do the sports league, something along those lines. All of that is not necessarily something that is a necessity. Necessity are things that would actually be conducive to changing your entire life, such as a repossession of a car would not be good, or the loss of a house, or getting kicked out of your apartment, or something along those lines would be very life-altering, life-changing. Those things would be necessities. After we've taken away all of our necessities, we're left with a smaller pool of cash that we can now move into step 3, which is taking away the savings portion of my budgeting scheme here. Now, my personal budgeting picture, I always want to make sure that I take my wants after I have saved for things for the future. These savings could incorporate something big picture like retirement savings, or something just as measly as trying to save up $1,000 just to get your feet under you. They could include saving up a down payment for a house or trying to buy a car, or most importantly, saving up to pay off debt. If you're truly here to try and make sure that you have a better financial picture for the future, tackling debt is going to be one of the biggest things that you can do to improve your financial situation. And I don't mean paying off the minimum payment that's going to last 10, 12, 15 years. I'm talking about trying to pay it down as quickly as possible and making sure you corner off a big portion of your leftover money into those different expenditures. Whether this is credit card debt or student loan debt or a mortgage payment, making sure that you pay that down quickly will make sure that you don't incur something called interest. That interest is just paying money on top of the money that you borrowed in order for someone to just get rich off of the hard work that you are doing. That may sound unfair, it may sound kind of crooked, but the truth is that you signed up for it when you made whatever debt contract sign of whatever it is that you were doing. So on a car, you signed up to say, I will pay this much interest on the loan amount. That was a decision that you made, knowingly or unknowingly. You signed a paper that said that you would pay this much on top of the actual amount that you are borrowing. Okay, so when calculating this savings portion, just remember that the more that you devote into this section of saving, the better off future you will be. Like I said, that could be retirement all the way out for, years and years to come, or it could be as simple as 5 years down the road, I'm not going to have this payment, which frees up more money in my income to do more things that I want to do. If you just delay that gratification, instead of buying that sick $5,000 road bike or something, if you just take that $5,000 and pay off that credit card so that you can eventually get that $5,000 to fully pay off that road bike or what, I don't really know what I'm talking about here. But anyway, that will make your future self very happy that you don't have those payments weighing you down, constantly stressing you out, needing to make sure that I make this payment, so on and so forth in the future. Okay, so off your income, if you subtracted your necessities and now we've subtracted all of our savings, we can move on to the wants section. Now, some of you may not have very much to go off of with this wants section, but all I can say is that if you can tackle the debt first, you can free up more money to be able to put into the wants section so that you can go and do entertaining things and have some fun instead of trying to be so meticulously set on saving for the future. Now, I do want to say that these last two sections of the saving portion and the wants section can kind of be correlated in together. And why I'm saying that is due to the fact that there are some things that may be necessities that come up, such as you blow a shoe out, right? I don't know what blowing a shoe out means. They call it blowing a tire, you like trip and fall or whatever. But anyway, let's just say your shoe gets destroyed, right? Your kid threw it into a wood chipper. I don't know, whatever. You need a new pair of shoes, right? So that's more or less like a necessity need that you can juxtaposition within the savings portion, right? So like, I need $50 or $100, whatever, to go get a new pair of shoes. So therefore I can, not hit as much on the payment debt, which future you may not enjoy, but you do have a necessity at this time that actually deems necessary, right? This is like getting clothes or getting shoes. These are wants that are not necessarily needs at the current time, even though they turn into needs as things wear out and go bad. This is why earlier in the episode, I was saying that I don't want to be so hard hitting that you only have this certain amount of money, and it's more flexible in the sense of like, just be critically thinking of like, what do I need and where's that money going, and being conscious of that money going out so that you can understand why your financial picture looks the way it is. It's just looking at the different pieces of the income that comes in so that you can determine how to better correct yourself for the future. Okay, now if you've made it to this part of the video, I know that you specifically do not want to keep going down the path of not having enough money to either do things that are fun or pay your bills. So with that, I know that you want to be more diligent in how you spend and taking a true focus on your behavior as an individual. This leads me into my own understanding that it really takes a personal thought process on what is actually a necessity and what does not. Like, do I really need that dessert with that meal? Do I actually need that coffee from this place? These personal decisions will determine whether or not you're actually going to set yourself up for success or whether you're going to keep throwing money everywhere and having to race to try and get the next paycheck. Do I really need that dessert with the meal? Do I really need that coffee? Is it really that I need that hooker? Now the blow, you need the blow. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Every little bit helps, and it's up to you to make the correct decision on whether or not an expenditure is a need or if it's a want. So after you've picked up all these different pieces, you have actually created a budget. You understand where your money is coming in and where your money is going out. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't be afraid to flex this budget month to month. Try to set up some guardrails and some rules for you on how you should spend your money. But don't be afraid to just juxtaposition and flex things. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you exactly you need to stay within these guidelines, otherwise you're screwed. Not true. It's just in the sense of like being responsible with your money so that you can determine how to set up yourself for success. All the math in the world is not going to fix your actions or your habits. I'm going to repeat that. All of the math in the world is not going to fix your actions or your habits. Listen, if you can try and minimize how much you are spending month over month, you can start to work on getting yourself out of living paycheck to paycheck. It's going to take years. It's going to be a slow process, but I think that since you're watching this part of the video, you will succeed. Just know it's not going to be the easiest path, but future you will be very, very happy with the decisions you make today to help yourself in the future. Like I said before, I will try to help my best to assist with questions down below. I can't give you any kind of personal advice, but I will tell you how I will handle a situation if you give me a hypothetical down below. I am not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do with your money, nor the outlook that you should expect. I've worked for years to build myself up. You can check up what my picture looks like right now over here. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, and I hope you have a great day.